Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be doing my AFL Fantasy Round 6 team review and going through who went well, who didn't go well, as I had an alright round, to be honest. I missed all of the rookie fails. I didn't get Took this week, which was another good thing I missed out on. I didn't go for Roberts because I thought Sydney were going to basically get him out of the system once the defenders return, which should be this week. So I didn't want him. I didn't want Johnson just because he's had that sub potential. So in the end, I went for Seamus Mitchell as he had the best break even out of everyone. I could have gone Sincotta, but I would have gained more cash out of going. Mitchell gained, I believe it was 52k. So I got the 51k from Mitchell. So I gained 13 more k out of that scenario, and have the opportunity to get Sincotta in next week, which will be really beneficial to my team, as you'll see some potential trades, but I think I'll leave that for another video further down in the week as we know teams, etc. But before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So there we go. Starting from, I guess, the back line, I'll start here. DAICOS, star of the show, 140, second highest score of the round, 63% owners. It pretty much doesn't matter him scoring at the moment, as you just got to have him. Then Tom Stewart, 100 here, really did well. There was some worries about him getting tagged, but I thought Mitch Duncan was the one that was probably going to get tagged by Ryan Clark, just because he's a little bit smaller, 5 centimeters, I think it was, I said, and 5 or so kilos. So that really helped. It might have been only like 2 or so centimeters, but it just helped Ryan get a better matchup. So Duncan was tagged, I believe, not heavily tagged, but Duncan was basically tagged out of anything, but the Swans put up arguably the worst performance in 25-30 years. And yeah, lost by 93, which I think was their biggest loss since 1998. So, and then you have here McGrath. I'm pretty frustrated with him, but he somehow holds his place again, just due to me wanting to get rookies off the ground, and I just want to keep my cash gen going up. But in the trades that I'm making, I'm able to get a rookie off the ground this week, plus also get better cash gen in Will Day, and also in Sincotta, is I think the trades that I want to do at the moment. Those guys want to come in, but it's about who I'm going to trade out for them. Then Duggan here, 81, could have easily gone 90, 95, which is all right. I mean, who does he have next week? Here's Carlton next week. He could easily put a bunch on them, as they seem to be very bad going into the 50, and they spray a lot with their set shots. So if Hearn isn't back, he gets a lot of kickouts. Like if I go over to DFS Australia, then I go into kick-ins and I go over to West Coast here. You'll see here, Duggan, 5 of 4, 5 of 5, 2. So he gets usually 2 when Hearn's out, and 5 also when he's, 2 when Hearn's in and 5 when he's out. So that's really good. And I'm wondering what's going to happen with Hearn's injury. I haven't looked at the latest. So the latest I know is roughly Friday last week or so, which was that he's definitely out for that round. And it was sort of that post that was combined with Noah Long not traveling. And then you've got here Mitchell, 68, huge. I think he holds on to his spot. I think you see Scrimshaw not make it into the side. I mean, you got Will Day returning, and I think they'll just do a straight swap with a midfielder out, and that probably is going to be Mackenzie. I think he's just not up to scratch at the moment and needs to further develop his game, and that's why Mackenzie is going to be a trade out this week, as he's got a high break even and might not play, but it could turn into Warple being out, and that would change some plans around a little bit, as that would mean that McGrath probably goes, and someone else goes as well, as I'd get Day and Sincotta, to be honest. It might even be that Warple goes and Mackenzie goes as well. We'll see. Then you have Cowan here, and I think he gets dropped when Sard comes back, whether that's next week, like the week coming up, round 7, or round 8. Sard's going to come back in one of those 2 weeks, and Sincotter's probably going to keep his place, but I think Cowan's the one that drops, and then Cincotta drops to the VFL again when Doherty comes back. I believe Doc is 3 or 4 weeks away, so we have 3 or 4 weeks of Cincotta getting up, and I think Cincotta could easily, with the role he plays and the amount he gets the ball with his efficiency, could easily jump up to 400k that quickly, and getting that cash gen is so crucial at the moment. And Cincotta can just slot into M8 here or D6, dependent on how Wilmot scores, because Wilmot seems to have the early game. Wilmot failed, so his but I'm just keeping him because he has the ability, like he's averaging 48, but he has the ability to go 60s, so that's a good enough score for D6, and his job security is really good. He just didn't get the ball, to be honest. Like, he didn't give away a free kick and just got the ball 8 times, didn't get a mark or a tackle, which really hurt his score. So he plays Fremantle next week, and I expect him to do really well. Uland here is just so that I have a loophole in here. Didn't play, haven't looked at the VFL, to be honest, and would be surprised if he's back anytime soon. But he's sort of similar to a lot of people who have Heath here at their R3 just to help get a vice captaincy option if he does score well, and also to Uland allows me to get the best out of a couple of rookies, defenders or midfielders, dependent on where I want him. And then you got Petrarca here, 106, huge effort from him. Could easily got a goal or two here and another 3 or 4 tackles, which was really interesting to see. And he also just whiffed the ball a couple times, and that could have easily been a 130 game. So the upside that he has is ridiculous, and to get him a 115, and I think Oliver's 105, sorry, and I think Oliver's around 118, I want to say, average wise, 120. So there's a 15 gap, and there was about, in price difference, there was, I believe, around 90k or so, 86k, which is around 10 points. So I need Petrarca to close a little bit, but I think he can do that. And then you have BONT here, 107 average. This is looking more and more like the pick that I wanted, especially after those first 3 weeks. It was pretty bad, but he's shown in this game that he can go huge, and he's got Hawthorn next week, and even if he cops attention, I don't think you can really stop him. So let's look at the games. He might be a VC option next week. We'll see. Tom Green returns, and he's got Sydney. I doubt Sydney probably tag him, to be honest. I don't think he needs to. I think they can win on their own merit, and I don't think Green needs to be tagged necessarily. They might put Mills to him, but I think Green just racks up the 30-odd disposals, 5 tackles or so, and a couple marks, and that's basically how he gets to his ton. Goulden, we need to see a little bit of a pickup from, but they're playing GWS, then they have Collingwood, Freo, North Melbourne, Carlton, then the bye, and he might be a buy trade out to get other premiums, but at the moment I'm not happy with him, obviously, averaging, 89, but there's plenty worse, and he's not an injury guy yet. So yeah, he gave away, I think it was 4 free kicks in the end in the last game, but he can certainly do better. So I'll be looking at that. Holland's next along. Yeah, really good game from him. Keeping his cash gen alive. I believe he has a break-even of pretty low this week. If I actually look at it. So AFL break-evens. We look here at Holland's 70. Nope, that's not the right. Holland's 36 huge. That is exactly what I wanted from him. And 36 break even should enable him to keep on going towards 500k. And if we actually look at him, he drops 77 next week. That's not going to be kind. So he needs to back up this score, I guess, and then he'll be good. But he can easily do that. And look at his run. He's got West Coast at Optus, and that'll be interesting. And yeah, and then you have Warple here, 88, just continuing hash gen, happy with him. Need to just see team list to see if he makes it, but I think he will. And I think Will Day just comes in for Mackenzie. If I'm being honest, it'll be a straight swap there. Warple probably drops a little bit in CBAs. If we look here, AFL, CBAs, Hawthorn. He was at 73. I think he drops to about 50. I think we see something similar to these two games here, where you have 65. Connor Nash probably drops to 60, so 65, 60, 60. 57, 50. I think something like that. Obviously, Reeves will probably be around the same, because they don't have... Reeves will probably be 92, as they don't have Meek in, but Meek might return, but it doesn't matter for Warple's sake. But Warple's getting a good share of CBAs no matter what. I think he sticks in the team just because you need him. Ashcroft doing his thing as a rookie. If we look at Ashcroft here, spelled his name wrong. 48 break even. That's good enough for him. He'll surely beat that or get close to it, so he won't lose cash. And at 568k, we could be looking at a guy in a couple of weeks at 600k from a rookie guy, and that's when we can trade him out with another rookie on top, and have 50k spare in the bank, as well as the 250, 300k from Hollands, and get someone absolutely huge. Then you have Jinbi here. 62 was alright. I liked his new role, just didn't get involved in the last quarter. That would have bumped him up to an 80 or so. Keep on having a fly just hanging around here. Annoying. But yeah, Jimby's gonna play, I think, with another injury to West Coast. I think it was Shuey went down with an ankle injury, and 3 to 4 months out for him. Or something. It was a long time, as well as Yo being out for a long time. It's panic stations almost at West Coast. And Cam McKenzie's probably going to get dropped. Chess is still another 2 or 3 weeks away, I think, at least. Marshall did well, 100, somehow got there in the end. And yeah, he just looks like a good guy to average 105 or so. Dominate some ruck matchups. He should dominate next week against Port, with them having Teakle and no Lysette. But Lysette might come back into the fold for that game. Tim English, 129, huge. Brought him in, and he's gone up already 26k. I think he's got a break even, honestly, of about 105, I'm going to say, or 100. 106 for Tim English. That's fine. He's going to be a keeper for the rest of the year. And then Samson Ryan on the bench for the Rucks is doing his role exactly to plan, and keeping up. And 304 now, is he? Yeah, 304 with a break even of, I believe, around 15 or so. I believe if we go here, where is it here? 7 break even. With the role he's got at the moment, he's pretty much guaranteed 50 or so a game, 50 or 60 a game. So we could see him before Nank gets back up to around 400k, and that'll be huge compared to people that have Heath, as it sort of evens the ledger with me having Eolan down back. So Samson Ryan doing what he's doing here is huge, and I can't wait to get the cash off him when Nank comes back, as that'll be sort of the signaling for me to get off Samson Ryan, as they seem to prefer to trade sub out Miller over Samson Ryan at the moment, so he's the preferred almost rug. Then you got Dunks here, 86, another disappointing effort from him, 93 average. Yeah, it was just sort of annoying because I picked the wrong 2 guys out of the top guys to get, English, even Laird's doing all right, and Oliver's smashing it. So English, Oliver, and Laird were the 3 guys to get out of the 5 or so massive premium guys, and Dunkley and Doc just haven't worked. And then you have Taranto here, who's now should be situated at F1, and he's just been fantastic, and is now 117 average, scored 138, got off to an absolute flyer and never really calmed down, I guess, and got to 138, so it was good to have him. Rosie, 133, again, another guy that got off to an absolute flyer and didn't slow down. 133 is huge, and he's just looking like the man for Port Adelaide, almost averaging 100, which is 25th best in the comp. And then you have Sheasel here, another bad game, or a bad game, I should say. And it was because 1, he had a corky, 2, he had a hand injury, 3, he got tagged by Holman, and 4, they tried to move the needle around so that he had some time in the forward line to break that tag, as well as the fact he had haulback. So there's 5 contributing factors, and it's just a thing of how much is the injury going to affect him, and how much is the tag going to affect him. Because if those are the overarching factors here, and he doesn't get tagged much in the future, and he overcomes his injuries, which he should by next week, we're going to be looking at a guy here back at 90s, 100s, and sort of almost a keeper at this point, and trade out around the buys if he regresses down to 90 or so. But if it is Hall coming back into the side, that's when we need to look at trading Sheasel down to or up to another big guy in the forward line, or I'll put probably Errol back into the forward line here. Probably could get Cogs, but he just has that annoying round 15 bye, which everyone else has. So you probably want to be looking at someone like maybe an Anderson at this point, because he doesn't have, he has that really good round 12 bye with only Geelong and Gold Coast. Then we move on to Zeeble. Zeeble doing exactly what I brought him in for. He's gone 87 and 99, which is all right for what I wanted from him, and just continuing on. And yeah, he doesn't seem affected by Hall's role. And if we look at here, not CBAs, as he won't be included in that. If we go to kick-ins here, and we go to North 2023, and you see here he's gone from 10 to 6 with Hall being back, but I mean they only had 12, and this game they had 13, 15, 19, so he's still getting half of the kickouts basically. That's what it's going to be, and that's going to be really good, as teams sometimes will kick bags on North, and he'll have somewhere around 10 or so disposals from kickouts. So that's really good and positive. And then I fielded Philippou on field, which was a good choice in the end out of Davey, as Davey looked still banged up a little bit. And Philippou's got a break even of like 32, so he should be able to hit that still. Not quite getting the role that I thought he would do, but hopefully that evolves in the next couple of weeks as St Kilda gets some of their key forwards back, and he sort of starts playing more small ball and can or move up the ground to that midfield spot and get some midfield time. Kamaminti suspended, and I want to get him out as soon as I can, feasibly can. Davey, 30, went up, 6k, and now has a tough break-even of, I think, about 35 or so. So he's one that I'm looking at trading out sometime soon. And then you have Noah Long, didn't play, but should be back, I think, next week. And if he's not, he's a week or two away. And he's looked like one of the Eagles' best youngsters, so he should get a game straight away, to be honest. And yeah, that's basically it. Ended the round 2074, lost to a mate by 3 points, which was really annoying. Team values up to, I believe, if I do something like that, team values up at now 18.7, and I don't know exactly what other teams are at, but I would suspect probably 400k or so ahead of me. Round rank of 5.7k, which is good, and an overall rank now of 2160 and 21289, I should say, and that's up from 29k, 29, I thought it was 26, but 29k, okay, that's fine. Going up 8k basically, and looking to go up another 8k next week. So that's basically the plan, and I'll come out with the cash cows, my predictions, which I went 9 for 9 with my predictions. I should go back to this screen. So you got cash cows, trade targets, predictions, and my final team for the weekend coming out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.